What's up, everybody? From Gamezo, this is ICanGoPro, and you're watching GGEZ. This weekend, Valorant got its first official tournament since its release back on June 4th. Now, it's through Twitch Rivals, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but isn't that just a bunch of streamers and not professional teams? Well, in the finals, it was Team Myth filled with TSM professional Valorant players and Team Brax, which had the entire T1 Valorant roster. Well, not TSM's full roster. Team Myth had Myth in it, who is a content creator for TSM in place of Hayes. So, TSM. While Myth is a content creator and not a pro Valorant player, he actually held his own, playing with seriously good players. So, I want to commend him. Before you say anything like he shouldn't have been in there, he did a very solid job. Of course, he's not going to be the top fragger, but give him some cred. Map 1 on Bind leaned heavily towards T1, who finished out the first half of the map 10-2. Now, once TSM got on the other half, they did bring it back, and they got a few rounds. They got 5 rounds, and they ended Map 1 on Bind 13-7. Map 2 was the complete opposite. This time, TSM was in favor, and they had their fair share of wins while they were defending, finishing the first half 9-3, and then closing out the map 13-6. Map 3 was on Bind again for some reason, and this map was without a doubt the most exciting. Every single round was action-packed. It wasn't even one-sided. It was going TSM, T1, TSM, T1, TSM, T1 for the entirety of the game. It was insane. I highly recommend that after you watch this, you go check out the VOD because it is something you will want to see for yourself. But in the end, it is T1, Team Brax, that came out on top with a final score of 13-10. TSM was so close. They had it, but it fell through their fingers like sand. It was truly an epic game. But now let me tell you about my theory of how competitive Valorant is going to go. Most of these maps are a bit CT-sided. And if you aren't sure what CT-sided means, it's a term from Counter-Strike, the very similar game, the tactical shooter. CT is the word for defenders. So if a map is CT-sided, it's going to be heavily one-sided in favor of the defenders. And the way these games have been going is whoever defends first will have a much greater advantage than the attackers. And that is something that has been consistent through the entire series. And if you go back, you will notice that in the playoff stage, the theory still stands. To be honest, I have no clue. I think it's just that it's much easier to defend. And if you get a solid lead on the defense, you have a big cushion to sit back on when you're attacking. You have a much less risky take for each attacking round. I'm not sure what could be done by Riot to fix this in the future, but all I'm saying is that this is a present and constant theory throughout competitive games. But aside from that, this tournament was amazing. I cannot wait for more and more and more Valorant tournaments. Hoping to see something crazy from ESL, DreamHack, Blast. I want to see all of these guys get their hands into Valorant. I cannot wait for more of these teams to go head-to-head and the full TSM roster to come back to T1 and show them what they're really made of. No offense to Myth. And also, I can't wait for the unknown talent, the teams that haven't been made yet, who are here to make a name for themselves. I am so excited for the future of Valorant. At first, I didn't think it was ready because of agent balancing issues, but it seems that's not really an issue when it comes to professional play. Now, that may be an issue to deal with and tackle on the normal player scale, but that's not something we could think about just yet. When it comes to competitive play, I think it's ready. And I am so excited for the future of Valorant esports. But we don't know when the next tournament will be, and until then, I'm ICanGoPro, and this was GGEZ.